everyone, we're live now. We're live with my favorite. I can't wait to bring on my next guest. And I was going to say this. First of all, I want to say hi to everybody out there on Facebook. Like us and follow us. We're going to be sharing this show right afterwards. And I want to talk to the audience right now for 1 minute. My show is usually sold out at least a couple of months in advance. And this was not planned. And every person that was on this week just so happened to be so apropos for what's going on in our society, in our world today. And I said that God has a plan. And who do I have with me today? One of my good friends, and has now been on with my television show, radio show, YouTube show, many times radio show. I have with me Rev Lucretia. Welcome to the show. You are the owner of Lost Inside Ministry. Tell everybody you got it. Welcome. So thank you for being here, number one.
Thank you.
Tell everybody a little bit about you and what you do,
Okay.
and then we're going to talk a little bit about what's going on today.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. It's a joy and a pleasure to be here. I can't tell you. You are my friend
Thank you.
as well as the radio host, and it is great to be here. I'd love to have an opportunity to talk about what I do. So I have a ministry called Lost Inside Ministry, and the tagline is Help for the Hurting Inside. And so it's for people that are hurting inside physically, emotionally, spiritually. So I target homebound clients as well as hospice clients and hospital clients, people that can't get out to get their spiritual nourishment. I go to them. I also do spiritual counseling, and so that's for helping people to find the God in their lives. So it's people that already have a connection but that need to be lifted up, and I help them to see where is the God in this situation. So they're coming for counseling because something is hurting them. And so what my job is to do is to figure out how can God show up more for them. God is already there. They need to be able to make the connection with God. So where is God in this situation? And so the constant work that I do is to help people feel connected to God and to understand God is always there with them.
And what I also love about you, it's non-denominational, so
It's
this is
totally non-denominational.
So we're
Yeah.
and when we talk here for what we're going to talk about in a little bit, I love the way you said certain things. Okay, when you said spiritual nourishment.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Spiritual. So we
Do
go
we
for
all not
food.
need that?
We all need food. We all need to survive. And what I say
We need
to people,
toilet paper.
That's right.
Oh, okay, go ahead. God.
Right, absolutely.
What's
So,
going on, God?
People can't expect themselves to survive without spiritual nourishment. So they need to be plugged into their source. They need to find ways to communicate with God. God lives inside us, outside us, all around us. There is nowhere we go that God is not. And so it's just a question of being aware of that and making ourselves connected in a way that feels like it's constant. So it's our job to stay connected. It's our job. God is there. God didn't move. When they say I don't feel close to God, God didn't move. We did, right? So, my job is to help people understand that God is there every single moment of every single day, and that all you have to do is stay plugged in. And I have tools to help people do that.
I am so glad you're here right now, especially with so many people who are, they're angry and they're scared. I want to talk a little bit real quickly before I give out some of your information about what your core beliefs, that New Thought, what you do is so different.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right, so New Thought is not really new. It's been around for centuries, and it's been around the world. It's not just America, but there's been a very strong movement in America. The biggest core belief that I have, that I can tell you that we have, is that our thoughts create our reality. So that's something that everybody is familiar with.
Yeah,
That's
you
not
guys
a
got to
new
know it
thought.
by now. It's been plugged
really
into us for the last few years here.
But people need to really understand that that's a core belief. So that means that it's our responsibility to watch what we're thinking. And it's our responsibility to stay plugged in and to stay positive. And when we go off the deep end, it's our job to pull ourselves back.
But we're not always capable.
Right,
and I was
right.
telling you about my daughter
Right,
today earlier,
right.
who was freaking out because her kindergarten, she said that, Mom, they're not ready to go on to first grade, and I felt so bad for her. But you can talk to someone like her
Right.
about what she's scared of right now.
Right. So what we can do first of all is remind you that God's in charge. We're not in charge. God's in charge. Always, always, always God's in charge. So we need to remember that. But we also need to remember that when we live in fear, we're not thinking clearly. So if she's afraid that these kids are going to go into an environment where they can't take care of themselves, she's not really looking at the big picture. The big picture is these kids have their own higher power, they have their own God, they have their own lessons they have to learn. And so every single time we go into a situation where there's a struggle or something that we need to overcome, we need to understand there's learning in that. So I don't believe that we have a punishing God. I don't think that God ever does anything to punish us. But he does do stuff to stretch us. So it's
But he wants us to.
right, so we can be bigger and better, so we can be the perfect manifestation of God's love.
Now, you're valley-wide when you work with people, but also
I am.
you said that you work with Skype and Zoom now.
Yes, absolutely. So that so many people are homebound and they're not able to come out, we absolutely have the means so that we can do it just either through the phone or over the internet or on the computer or
Sure.
Skype
And
or Zoom.
it's
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful that we
Yeah.
have that now for everybody.
Yeah.
And you're listening in here. First of all, I want you to go up on her website and check her out. It's wonderful, and it's lostinsideministry.com. You can also call her. Her number is 973-930-8380. And you can call her. And when they do, you said that you do work with a lot of people who are sick and cancerous right now.
Yes.
But a lot of people right now, such as like my daughter, could
Yeah.
really use to just be able to
You know,
talk. Can they
it's-
do that?
Yes, so it's changed quite a bit. It used to be that my major focus was going to people that were homebound and in hospitals and hospices. Now, particularly with the virus, I'm not going in as many places because they won't let me go in as many places. But I've also shifted because I found out that there are so many people that need what I'm calling spiritual counseling. So they're okay, they're not having tragic situations, but they're not thinking clearly. And so what they do is they come to me and they lay out what it is that's not working for them right, and I bring them back into alignment with the truth. So the truth is they're learning the lessons they need to learn. God is with them. God is supporting them. God is going to teach them everything that they need to know. They need to not live in fear, and that it's their responsibility to refocus their thoughts. So when they get really negative, they need to understand that they have the power to change that. We can create our own heaven and our own hell in our own minds.
Absolutely.
And so we take responsibility for changing that.
Now you're going to offer everybody a free counseling session. It's a $75 value
Yes,
free to
I am.
you. $75.
Yeah.
This is all she's
Yeah.
asking. And you know what? She's wonderful. She has worked with so many people.
Yeah.
And our number here to call in for that is 602-277-5369. Toll free is 1-866-536-1100. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone that you know. That's what networking is all about. That's like I'm going to tell my daughter about her so that she can go and have some time to talk. This is a great time that you're here.
It's
just so
interesting.
happening.
People come to me, through connections with other people in the strangest, in supermarkets. You may find somebody who's standing behind you in a line, and all of a sudden they're bursting into tears, and you can turn around and say, "What's happening for you?" So people are hurting a lot, and it's not just medical problems or financial problems.
Not
or
anymore.
employment,
It's
not
huge
anymore.
right now.
It's the falling into the depth of despair problem.
Right, but even so, let's not talk about that. They're afraid of getting sick and dying.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people, and of course we have so much that they're getting at them through the news and through television and all of that.
And so that's the thing. So what you concentrate on gets bigger. So if you're going to concentrate on the fear, you just become more afraid. If you sit in front of the TV and watch news all day long, God, I love my mother very much, but she sat in front of CNN all day long and was on tears of depression all the time because she only put bad stuff in. And that's why I talk about spiritual nourishment. Spiritual nourishment is putting the good stuff in. It's not putting the bad stuff in. So if you put in good thoughts, if you read inspirational material, if you listen to uplifting songs, if you pray, if you meditate, there are things that you can do to change the way your thoughts are going, but you don't need to go into the pits of despair.
The number to call here to get entered in to win a free counseling session, it's a $75 value, free to you, anyone out there. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Check her out on her website. She's valley-wide. She does Skype and Zoom. Lost Inside Ministry, so it's oneministry.com. It's just her, but you know what? She does so much. That one little person does so much. You can also call her if you want and make an appointment. That number is 973-930-8380. Call in here if you're hurting in any way or you know someone. This is a $75 value free to you. 602-277-5369 and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. We're going to go to a break, okay? So real quickly, leave them with something that they can carry with them while their commercials are going.
Stay focused on the positive. It's always out there. Just find it.
Right. You know something? We all have to do that. And I know so many people out there are hurting, that are afraid right now, but you don't have to be. God is always with us. And it doesn't matter who that God is for you or what it means for you. He's always with us. Our number here, get entered in to win. It's a free counseling session. It's valued at $75, 602-277-5369. Thank you. You like it? Isn't that fun? Now, you see, I do things a little differently. I'm going to be talking about your show. We'll be promoting your show. I'm going to go crazy. Oh my God, you got to listen. So, you see, that's what I do. I'm a little different than other people.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
That's awesome.
So we are really, where you can hear your message is where we are.
Yeah, the church in Mesa.
That's you're going to handle. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
That's where we are,
right now. Okay? Are you cool with it?
We're very good. We're doing great.
So we're kind of like getting in all the other stuff at the same time.
I'm sort of mixing it all. So if you repeat the same thing, people remember it more.
No, you got to do that. Oh, and we're live on Facebook right now. We're live. I forgot. We're live. So hi.
Bye.
It's okay. You know what? That's the behind things and what they're kind of fun looking at and seeing.
Yeah. It's all good.
It is all good. I haven't heard your ad yet, so we'll hear it. We'll hear it before, I'm sure before.
Okay.
Right now, it might even come on before you come on. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm waiting to hear. Ooh, okay. We'll take that off. I didn't know that. We'll take that off.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. So
Did you like it?
So it was about a year ago then.
Yeah.
Wow, time
well.
goes. Oh boy, oh boy.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's all good. I'm not
Whoops.
worried. If we get their attention, it'll
I'll
get
take
their
care
attention.
of that. Right after the show. I need to talk to them about that. They should have listened and told me beforehand, but they didn't. I'll take care of that.
Yeah.
These are all my ads.
Good. That's what you want.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Rev Lucretia, and she is the owner of Lost Inside Ministry. And we heard her ad, and it was an old ad. So you know what? We're gonna have to listen to that and to change that. But that's okay. The
good.
message is still the same, right?
Absolutely.
So okay. Before we were talking at the break a little bit about where they can hear your message.
Right.
Tell them a little bit about
So
that.
yeah, so I'm the only New Thought church in Arizona, Community Church of New Thought. The only one is in Mesa, and I'm a minister there, and I do a message twice a month. And so it was just funny. I was talking to Carol this morning about the fact that we didn't plan, we planned way in advance what our messages are. We didn't know that it was going to hit during this virus. So last week my message was "We Shall Overcome," and I had the song "Rise" by Danny Kogi, who I absolutely love. So you know what? God is so in charge. You see it everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Because we printed out those bulletins months ago. But the talk last week was "We Shall Overcome,"
And
so Yeah, I just, so my
Let's talk
talks are
about
all very new thought, they're all very, it's almost more of a philosophy and a lifestyle. I don't want people to think that I'm trying to preach any religious doctrine of any kind. These are all well-known principles that we live by, and it's just a way to remind people of their source and how to get connected and how to stay focused, and to give them some biblical references, but also references from many different authors. And I always bring music along with me. I love to bring music, and so, so they have a website, it's ccntaz.org, so Community Church of New Thought, and you can look them up. They have a Facebook page as well, and I'm there twice a month. I'm there every week, but I preach twice a month.
So on their websites, is it ccntaz.org?
Yes.
And can you see when you're going to be there? Do they have a listing
they
of
do.
when you're going to be
Yep,
there?
on their Facebook
I'm
page. there is.
going. When is where is it located again?
So it's all the way in Mesa. It's at
Mesa and where?
5013 East Broadway.
Okay.
5013 East Broadway.
Okay. And
Easy to
so
get to.
when people, I think I want people to understand too with you, it is non-denominational. It doesn't
non-denominational.
matter.
So think Oprah, think Deepak Chopra, think all of the leaders, the spiritual leaders, Wayne Dyer, Louise Hay. My God, Louise Hay, I've been listening
Reverend
to
Lucretia.
So all of the new thought leaders that you've all been studying for decades, I draw from all of them.
Well, we've got our lines open here because Revan is giving out, to everyone's getting entered into win a free counseling session. And that's a $75 value free to you or anyone you know. And how about our kids out there? Don't forget them, you guys. They're also hurting, mine.
Absolutely. So there was a 16-year-old who hit my car the other day and came and knocked on my door. And her mom, we worked with our mom to figure out how to take care of it. And it turns out that the 16-year-old has quite a bit of medical challenges going on. And the mom said, she's really depressed these days. I know this is really going to upset her. She hit your car and everything. And I said, you know what? I'll talk to her. Have her sit down with me, because we need to just remind people that their thoughts create their reality. And if she allows herself to be overcome by the negative, it will take over her life. But the fact is, she's 16. She's got her whole life ahead of her.
Mm-hmm.
And I can just give her some very, very basic tools.
The number to call here for a counseling session, it's a $75 value free to you or anyone you know. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. She is valley-wide. She works Skype and Zoom, so that means actually she can work anywhere.
Absolutely.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
So, and that means that anyone out there that's listening, she will, if you need help, she's here to help. And I like that. Maybe that we should make that your tagline. It's lostinsideministry.com. You can also call her direct. That number is 973-930-8380. I just want to say that God, the source or whatever it was that was around that child who was 16 that hit your car, he was there right there too, because she needed help, and she was like, bam, I need this person, and she went right into your car.
There's just no accidents. I just don't believe there's any accidents.
They're not, absolutely not. So, okay, how to stay in connection with the time of stress.
So I'm going to tell you some really, really basic. Number one is gratitude. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. At any point in time where you're feeling overwhelmed, whether you're feeling afraid, whether you're in fear about this medical crisis or about financial crisis, make a list of what you've got. You got a roof over your head. You got your health. Your friends have got your health. Your kids have got their health. If you haven't got all of your health, you can turn that around too.
I'm going to say what we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
I guess it's okay, Look, we looked at our parents, and our parents, they went through a lot.
Yes.
Some of them were called to war,
Yes.
right? And they didn't ever have as much as but they wanted us to have everything, right? Now we live in a world where, I hate to say it, but we have too much.
Yeah.
And so, and people don't have it in perspective.
Right.
They don't get it because they can't
You
even
know-
understand. They might have living off
Absolutely.
their, we said earlier, what was it?
The interest on
The
what
off
they
the
have.
list, interest of what they already have. They're just
Yeah.
living that way. And they're scared and they're
Yeah.
upset because they
Yeah.
can't go on the cruise or
Yep,
whatever.
Yep. The thing of the matter is, as long as you have food to eat and a roof over your head, you have so much to be thankful for. I deal with a whole lot of people in recovery. If you got your sobriety, that's being born again all over again, So, there are so many things to be thankful for. And the way to turn every situation around, the number one way is gratitude. So make a list. When you're feeling overwhelmed, make a list. What is it that really makes you happy?
What
are
else?
the things that you do have? So the other one is to pray and meditate. So obviously I'm a minister, I do it a lot. So I meditate
She
for
does.
an hour
And let's
every
talk
day.
about the prayers
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
said
the
down real
prayers,
quickly
yeah.
before we go. Go ahead.
So there are a lot of people that I support by prayer. So it used to be that I would see them person to person and then they moved, or they just don't have the time to see me. So I send out prayers by text.
I get them once in a while. I
oh,
love them.
You know, it's just, I'm so deeply grateful because they're not my words. They're absolutely God's.
So
They're absolutely
Tell us what
God's.
else. You said gratitude.
Gratitude, prayer, meditation, and study. So, okay, here's my belief system. My belief system is your relationship with God is just like your relationship with any human being. It's going to be as good as what you put into it. So people say to me, I'm not close to God. I don't feel like I can hear his voice. Well, what are you doing to make that happen? You know, so have some quiet time. Sit there, do some prayer and meditation, but also study. There are millions of books out there. I'm not talking about just the Bible. The Bible's great, but there are thousands of books that you can read that are uplifting and inspiring. I can give you lists. Anybody could give you lists.
Absolutely.
There are websites that you can go to that will give you New Thought books by the ton that you can read for free. So what I'm saying is, it's your responsibility to have a relationship with God. God didn't move. God is there every single moment of every single day. He wants to support you, uplift you. He wants you to be happy, joyous, and free. All you got to do is plug into that. But you do got to plug in.
But you know what else he does? He brings people like you to this world that will help other people out there that they're not able to connect because they don't know how.
Yeah.
I think that's another
It's
part
not
of
hard
it.
to learn. So what it takes is a commitment. Just like you make a commitment to lose weight and you do all the exercises and you take certain foods out of your diet, you make a commitment and say, I want my relationship to be strong with God. I want my number one priority to be my relationship with God.
Let me tell you what happens when you do it. Your whole world
Your whole
changes,
world does
right?
change.
And so, you know, a lot of people out there that are dealing with stress right now or anything that you are, and it doesn't matter how little or small, but she's here to help. And again, of course, if you have anyone who is sick, anyone tell about the people that you work with. Go ahead real quickly.
So I do work with, I have many cancer patients that I work with. And the fact of the matter is there are statistical studies that prove that if you believe in your mind you're going to get well, you will get well. If you don't, you won't. Now, I'm not saying it's 100% concrete, but what I'm saying is there is evidence that your thoughts change your body. Your thoughts change your brain. There is so much evidence now that you can read that tells you that if you believe you will get well, you will get well. You can change your body through your thoughts.
But you help people who are, you said in sobriety,
Sobriety,
right,
I
as
do-
well?
Yeah.
There are also people who are in cancer,
Yeah, some
mostly
people,
cancer.
jail, people that just came out
You
of jail.
say you
I've
also
quite
go-
a
oh,
bit of
wow.
jail. Yeah.
Mhm.
People
And
that just came out of
Also,
jail.
you go to the hospitals.
I do. I go to the hospitals. Yeah, it's just turned into.
She's
God has
very
brought-
busy.
I am. It's turned into God has brought me a whole lot of cancer patients right now, and I'm not sure why, but that's okay. I do what they need to be done. But yes, so I help people that are hurting inside, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And if they can't come out, a lot of people that are depressed just because they're homebound. So they need someone just to visit them and lift them up.
And
so
that's
I'm
why
like
she
that.
can help anyone from anywhere,
Yeah.
because now we have Skype and we have Zoom for her to be able to do that. Check her out on her website. It is LostInsideMinistry.com. You can also call her direct. That phone number is 973-930-8380. And we're going to keep our lines open here for everybody to keep on calling in, whether it's you or someone that you know. It's a free counseling session with her, and it's a $75 value free to you or anyone you know. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. So real quickly, we're going to try and get to this. Why is fear our enemy?
So again, I'm really into psychobiology, and I really understand that they have proven now that your brain does not function well when you're in fear. When you are in fear, you literally cannot make good decisions. You can't think clearly. The chemicals in your brain don't act the way they are supposed to. And so why you want to make sure that you're pulling yourself back to reality. When you feel yourself slipping into fear, you want to tell yourself, I'm in a fear place. Call somebody, ask them to help you get realigned. Get realigned with the truth. The truth is that God's in charge. You're not in charge. You can do what you need to do, and it's your job to stay connected.
I love that. You ended it perfectly. You know, guys, there's a lot of people out there that are hurting, whether it's you or someone that you know. And I love that I have this little forum right here for everybody to be able to talk and hear about people like you and everybody else that comes on the show. So you can check her out on her website. It's LostInsideMinistry.com. You can also call her direct. Her number is 973-930-8380. It's non-denominational, guys. And it's New Thought. And she also is going to be at the New Thought
Community Church in
Community
New Thought.
in Mesa. you know, it's all wonderful. We'll all feel good by going. Maybe it's there, or maybe you just talk to her. Get entered in to win this counseling session of $75 free to you. 602-277-5369.